Sup guys, finally back with some gameplay videos and we're back in style. So this is an extremely fun deck. Um, yeah, it's very budget friendly. As you can see, I don't have triple Gozuki as you probably should have to play this deck optimally. So I put in Witch of the Black, double Witch of the Black Forest. Maybe you have her because she is in the box, in the good box. I also put Monster Gate because tons of our monsters activate when they are special summoned. Also, I put in a couple of Chalice Eye, whatever, Chalices, an Econ, Ballista Squad because we can tribute off our monsters, and yeah, the rest is standard. Of course, the core of the deck would be something like maybe if you don't have ballistas, something like this plus triple Gozuki, but you can play maybe even remove one desire. But because we don't have desire, we have because we don't have Gozuki, we play triple desire. So you have literally 6 openers and 3 Samurai Skull and 3 Vampire Desire. So what is the goal of the deck? On the first turn, you would like to set up a decent board for you to survive, or maybe with the field spell and the takeover to pop a card on the field. With the Duke sends a card to the graveyard, and then with Vampire Kingdom destroys one card on your opponent's. Yeah, you can destroy one of your opponent's cards. So the standard play would be maybe Samurai Skull, send the Duke to the graveyard, then take over, special summon, activate the kingdom, special summon the Duke from the graveyard. When Duke is summoned, send the card and then destroy one card on the field. But that's not the usual play. Usually you would like to send a retainer or a familiar, because a retainer then sends one. You can special summon it by discarding or sending one a vampire card from your field or the hand. The same goes with familiar, and then you get a search for your spells and traps, vampire spells and traps like desire or the field spell or the awakening or the takeover or the domain. Yeah, it seems like tons of things, like there are tons of cards. How do I know what to do? But once you get the feeling for the deck, it's extremely easy. On your first turn, with Retainer, you want to search for the Awakening, because you can special summon one vampire so you can survive better. And also when vampires are special summoned, they activate their effects. So you either want to, on your first turn, on your opening turn, you either want to search for the Awakening or the Takeover. On your second, also on your first turn with familiar, you can also search for one vampire monster. So you want to search maybe the vampire vamp or the vampire red baron for the following turn. So on the second turn with retainer, you want to search for either desire or the vampire's domain. The Vampire's Desire special summons vampires from the graveyard, while Vampire's Domain can give you an additional normal summon. So you can, after you normal summon your Skull, after you normal summon your Retainer or Familiar or whatever, maybe even Sorcerer, you can normal summon your extra normal summon your Baron or extra normal summon your Vampire Vamp. And then on the second turn, on your second turn, the goal of the deck is to, with Red Baron, take control of any of your opponent's monster by paying 1000 life points, or with Vampire Vamp, take control of, literally equip your opponent's monster to her. So yeah, that's the deck. It is, I would say it's simple once you get to know the cards, because it's not a popular deck, so you probably, if you're not a fan of this archetype, you probably don't know how it works. So yeah, you have to get used to the combos and get used to what is the first turn, what is the second turn. You have to have a good sense of control and the balance. You also very easily lose life points, so you have to have a decent control You have to keep track of your life points, when they're how much you can take, how much you can't, because you can very easily lose all of your life points. Skills, you can play literally whatever you want. There is a skill called Monster Morph, something like that. Also Dragonic Fusion. I would definitely try that out, but I don't have the Zombie Fusion card. Also, level tuning is decent, but I decided to play here even sealed tombs, and yeah, I would probably try level tuning because you can go into a Utopia Ray combo very easily. But yeah, you try out. There are many skills that trigger when you have when you lose life points. So yeah, as I said, the deck is very cheap. Like you have to go one time into the Darkness Gimmick Puppet box, plus the 2 times in their Vampire of Scarlet, something like that. You want to have a bigger number of cards because you don't want to draw into your kingdom, and you don't want to draw into all of your monsters. You want to have a decent balanced hand. Yeah, something like this I would recommend. It's really budget budget friendly. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So let's see what do we have here. Yugimoto. We can probably expect Gaia or something, right? Okay, so here, yeah, Gaia. Here I decided to even play Monster Gate. It seemed like a good card because there are tons of. Let's see. First of all, Witch of the Black Forest effect activates when it's sent to the graveyard. So that's a 1+ why to play it. And also, you want to have Vampire Sorcerer in the graveyard. Also, you want to have Retainer in the graveyard. Also, you want to have Familiar in the graveyard. Plus, there is a lot of monsters that activate when summoned, like Familiar, Retainer, and Duke. So yeah, I would say it's not a bad card to play. I'm not sure if that would be my optimal build. Of course, I I played it for fun to see how it is. Okay, so a good opener. I don't have Gozuki, so rely on Samurai's Call plus Vampire's Desire for our openers, or Witch of the Black Forest to with Ballista or Enemy Controller or Monster Gate, or maybe even Vampire Awakening. Yeah, we have some decent openers, but yeah, let's see. So yeah, this is their standard plays. Okay, so here we first activate Vampire Kingdom to check out for delays. I mean, that that wasn't the best idea, as his monster is has delays on its own. But yeah, it's a good habit to have. Then we go for Samurai's Call. Samurai's Call sends the Retainer. Retainer activates to search for the desire. Then we can send Baron with the Familiar. And why do we want to do that? We want to do that because with the desire, we can special summon from the graveyard. So let's see, what do we do now? We activate Monster Gate. Unfortunately, we can only summon Witch of the Black Forest, but that is also a good thing for Desire, because Desire has to tribute one card, and now we get the effect of Witch of the Black Forest, and we can search a Samurai's Call for the next turn. Also notice most vamps and zombies have like not so big defense, so yeah, it's easily searchable with Witch. Now we activated Baron. I don't know if he doesn't read or something, but he just straight up passed and gave us his monster, and from that it's over. We attack. He has an enemy controller, which didn't help. He probably should have destroyed with Gaia, destroyed our Baron. we would still have decent board. So it would be interesting situation, but yeah, he definitely misplayed and he scoops. So it's important to remember our first turn plays and also remember our second turn plays. Okay, so we're going second now. This deck really is good on the second turn. On the first turn, it's decent in spamming monsters, and sometimes in we can create with the field spell a quick play pop on his turn. But usually the best thing about the deck is our second turn stealing the monsters really, and also we can go in to some great exceeds. But yeah, that's rarely the situation. Okay, so a good thing is that he doesn't have any back row. Um, Back row can be a problem for us, but yeah, we can power through some back row. Okay, so this is standard. With Samurai Skull we can send either familiar or retainer, and we can get a search for the familiar now. Retainer activates, we can search for awakening for the next turn. uh, if we didn't have the domain, we would search for the domain, because with the domain we have another normal summon. So as you can see from the Samurai Skull plus one vampire, we have like a whole board plus a Baron, and a Baron can still literally his monster. Maybe we had an OTK, I don't think we did. I think this was a good decision to go into Rhinoceros. We also have sealed tombs. We are leaving Vampire Retainer on the field because he can't exceed with him. Now he activates MST. We can special summon the Duke. Okay. He searches for him Amano Ivato, which I don't know what was he thinking, but sure. Yeah, it was downhill from that. We completely annihilated him on the first turn. And yeah, that's a GG. Okay, let's see what we have next. Supreme King Jaden. Okay, I'm not sure what this duel was. We'll have to see. We're going first here, right? Okay, so here I think I did misplay. We also opened a monster gate with Witch of the Black Forest, which is decent. We did not want to draw into our Vampire Duke. Let's see, what do we do here? Okay, yeah, this is standard. Okay, so we summon Familiar, with which we can search for a monster. Also, we got the effect of Witch of the Black Forest. We search for the Baron and a Samurai Skull. Okay. Now we can send. Vampire's Desire has another effect, with which we can send a retainer, with which we can send one vampire monster, change the level to it. So we don't really care usually. It can be sometimes good. That's why I think we have a lower rank too. We don't. Okay. It's usually not the best thing for changing levels, but it's usually just to put retainer or familiar in the graveyard so we can activate their effects from the graveyard. Now we send the Baron. Good thing is to have Duke here, because we are now getting a use of drawing into our Duke, because we can special summon the Baron on the next turn. Here, it was a mistake. We could have also discarded the Duke. In my opinion, discarded the Duke, activated the searched with retainer for takeover, because we can special summon the Duke from the graveyard, activated the field spell, and then we can have a quick play pop on his turn. I was pretty new with the deck, so I didn't see that option. But yeah, double monster on the field is also decent, especially with sealed tombs. And also, yeah, as you can see, we're playing a meme deck, so it's an easy GG. Um, yeah, definitely should have gone for that. That is definitely the optimal play. But we have GGs already. With Vampire Duke, we can recover our Baron. Now we can activate Baron effect to literally swap out the monsters. We can also change the levels, go for rank 4 exceed, and that's a GG. Yeah, I would say it's a complicated deck. It has lots of plays. I wouldn't say it's that complicated, but it takes a bit time to get used to all the plays that they have, and it takes time to get used to what plays they have on the first turn, what is the best play for the second turn, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely a fun deck, and also it's a very budgeted deck. I probably said that all already, but yeah. Okay, so here we open Witch of the Black Forest, Vampire Awakening, which is decent to set up for the next turn. Also, enemy controller blah, can be decent for. We can tribute our Witch of the Black Forest, draw our Samurai Skull, and also we can with enemy controller survive. So yeah, here he goes. Cards of Consonance, Sage, banishes our back row. We tribute summon a tribute to survive. We draw into our Samurai Skull. He summons in the end phase, and now he has two monsters. And yeah, that's basically a GG with our plays. Let's see. We go into a retainer. Retainer discard. This is classic. We search for the domain. We can activate the domain, activate its effect so we gain a normal summon. Search. We probably should have even searched for. Probably should have put familiar in attack because we can swap it out for his monster. But we decided to go for Vampire Vamp here. Vampire Vamp is also yoinking the monster. It's stealing the monster. We could have went for the Baron, tribute summon over the retainer, and then switch out the Blue Eyes with the familiar who could have been in attack position, and we basically have a GG. But this is also a good thing to see what other plays we have. And we were a bit lucky we had Awakening set, but yeah, Vampire Vamp can steal his monster. We've got 5000 attack, it gains its attack. Also, when it's sent to the graveyard while equipped, you can special summon it. Okay, we can destroy, special summon the Duke. Now we also play around Fear Karibu because he probably thinks, oh, he won't finish me, but I have Forbidden Chalice for game. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, we can literally power through two monsters, big monsters. Sometimes, yeah, we like having our MSTs for the back row. Yeah, that's why we like Duke popping the quick play pop, so we can pop his back row. Okay, this is not the optimal hand. If we draw into a Samurai Skull, it is an optimal hand. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we just top deck. Here he decides to go for he decides to go already for the delta. Was that a misplay? Perhaps. We pitch the retainer. Retainer, this is standard. Draw, get our domain activate. We can now summon the familiar. Familiar activate, search for the scourge, which we will not even need, but still we can get it. Now swap up the monsters. We probably should have put it in attack position. But okay. We try to go for game. He has Canaria. Okay, here we try to banish. He special summons. Now we can Vampire Awakening. We can also go for a rank 6 XCs, and yeah, we have pretty decent board. So yeah, as you can see, the turn 2 OTKs are amazing. It can be hard to navigate with constant life point losing. But yeah, once you get a feeling for the deck, it can be very, very powerful, for sure. Okay, another blue eyes player. Who would have, who would have predicted that? Okay, so he goes for Dragon Spirit of White, and in the end phase. So yeah, this should be, if we draw into our Samurai Skull. Yeah, that's why you want to have Gozuki, because you have 6 openers. You don't have to rely on only on Samurai Skull. But yeah, he doesn't have any back row protection, and it should be an easy game. Okay, so yeah, this is also a good opener, Desire, with which we can send the Retainer. Retainer, discard the Awakening, search for the Domain, Domain activate, Tribute Summon for Baron, Baron steal his monster, Tie that binds, and look what field we have. We also, Domain has also another effect, like all of their cards have double effects, really, to just to gain life points. So we recovered our life points. We have full field of monsters. We have Baron for the next turn, even stealing monsters. He's also another effect is that when a monster is destroyed by battle, you can special summon it from the graveyard. Also be careful, because when they are special summoned from the graveyard, they are banished. But Miller wasn't special summoned from the graveyard, so it's not banished. So we still even get a familiar effect to get our vamp for the next turn. I would think this is an amazing. And also we have a chalice to negate. And yeah, he scoops. Okay, I think this is our last duel. It should probably be. But it should be fun. I think it was very fun. Okay, my Valentine, probably Harpies, right? Oh yeah, yeah, I remember this duel. It was a fun. We can literally slash, and with slash we can literally bounce bounce monsters on his turn. But I don't think we got to that point. Unfortunately, that would have been fun, but we didn't get to that point because we OTK'd him. Spoilers, spoilers alert. Okay. So this is a standard play, only one back row fortunately, and we have our MST. MST can destroy his back row. Chalice, which is a good, which was amazing that we had the MST. Okay. Send the familiar. Familiar, activate the domain we already had. Familiar, special summon, search for the retainer, which we won't even use. Go for the Baron, steal his monster, awakening, and yeah, that's a GG. So yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys think about vampires. They seem like a good deck to me. It's a very budget deck, like I said. It only requires 2 mini boxes, which are on sale 50%, and also only one main box. But yeah, it's a great deck. It's a very fun deck. It also needs some refining to do. It also needs to be updated, and we can see what is the best version. It can be a bit expensive with triple Gozuki, but as you can see, we can play it without Gozuki. So yeah, that's it. Be sure to like the video, comment below, for the algorithm, of course, or if you have any thoughts about the deck, and yeah, subscribe so you don't miss other videos when I'll be posting out, and see you in the next video. Bye.